said we got our weapons. What have we got? We ain't got anything for target practice is what. So I'll tell you what we gonna do. We gonna give the Ubies a taste of hot metal death is what. We gonna take Big Gork and Big Mork here and who's gonna stomp Ubi.
When the printer don't print no more, what are you supposed to do with all this crap? Landfill, innit? Landfill. But look at the texture.
Kia ora and welcome to my video about scratch bashing a Great Gargant for my 40k Ork army. Recently I got my hands on some old printers that were destined for the landfill and spent many happy hours deconstructing them into their component parts. And with plastic bits coming out of my ears, I decided to use up as much of the not very interesting or textured bits as possible by getting orky and cutting lots of ragged plates of armour.
Gonna need some tools for sure. That'll do.
Gargants are the largest land-based orc fighting machines, and the Great Gargant is second only to the Mega Gargant. However, for my first effigy of the brutal and cunning gods, Gork and Mork, I thought maybe I'd try and build something that would fit through doors in my house on completion. So, how was I going to recreate one of these towering war engines, comparable in size and power to Imperial Titans, dominating the battlefield with fearsome dagger and much boom? Well, to start with, I turned to pot. Plant pot, that is.
Got me trusty, cheap as chips glue gun. Hey. Not bad for one day's work.
In combination with 2 cardboard tubes from sticky tape rolls and a foam-covered steel rod from a printer, I fashioned this rather scaly torso.
This is his feet. It will be his feet. Something like that.
A magnetized head made from various ice cream pots to sweeten the deal, which by next morning was looking a whole lot more orky. When building Ork, I find it very fun to channel my inner greenskin. That is to say, I smash some stuff apart and then smash some stuff together until I get something that I believe will be really good. In this case, really good at stomping and smushing. And Daka. Yeah, gotta have plenty more Daka. But first, it's time to get riveting.
This here's glue. That's the piece I'm working on. There's a toothpick right there, and some rivets. Add all 3 together. Well, it's just, it's riveting. Yeah, it's really, really riveting. I got a question. How's he supposed to walk? He's got an head. He's got guns. He's even got some hangy guns. But how's he supposed to walk, eh? He needs some stompers.
I made these fetching leggy bits mostly out of some old plastic coat hangers, some graphics medium chipboard and a few bottle caps plus some cogs from the printers.
Even got some pretty toenails. What are they? Cunning? I reckon they're cunning toenails.
With plenty of Daka in place, next up it's more bigger rivets and another arm, this time opting for a melee combat option, a good grabby claw for grabbing and clawing. For a base coat, I do my usual spray black and immediate spray with water mist. This gives a great effect for metal, and to be fair, it would probably work really well on skin too, especially if you were making some kind of popper Nurgle or some demon of that description. Depending on how much water you spray, and if you spray additional coats of paint on top, you can make some really cool texturing on what otherwise might be large areas of mostly flat plastic or cardboard or whatever scrap it is you're using. The next logical step is to build the bit I forgot about. The housing for this Thicc boy's engine gubbins, which can also serve as a platform for some lads, and I'll put in a door so they can get in and out. Getting into the paints, I opt for the UB rusty metal look for all the pieces. Then it's on to the colours. I'm going for Bad Moons with this expensive looking Titan killer, cause you gots to have the teeth to do the death in such style. I learned my painting technique from watching scratch bashing videos, and then I forgot half of what I learned and just have fun slapping paint on. I admit I'm definitely not the best painter around, and frankly I am in awe of people who can paint like a Miniac or a Midwinter. However, one dislike I have of how a lot of people paint orcs is that the colours are too uniform, too bold and striking. Don't get me wrong, it looks amazing to paint a model like a hero and a regiment like one decisive killing force. But when it comes to greenskin mentality, would orcs really be able to produce, or even care to do so, the exact same shade of paint accurately, and make sure that the rank and file all looked pretty like little death flowers? Umis, Tau, Elder, even Nids make sense in their own style, being bright with clean lines and an army tied together by uniformity. Orcs, however, are mean and dirty and make war by born instinct. The thing that ties them together most as a battlefield presence is their green skin. The clan colours, I feel, should be a lot more looser than one might allow when painting a Spesmarian chapter, for instance. If you paint speed freaks, all you need is all the shades of red slapped on, just in case, the one that you didn't use was the one that really makes you go faster. What you don't need is that just perfect shade so that totally tells me that this war machine will be faster than any other Yar. So, I paint orcs mean and dirty and ready for whatever comes their way for a good old scrap. And that, of course, means lots of icons, glyphs and graffiti needs to be added to this Stompanaut if it's to fit in with Orky lore. Lots of moons and teeth and black on yellow flames and checkers should do it. After a lot of painting, let's meet the individual pieces, starting with these cunning red stompers, guaranteed to get you there faster. They come complete with 2 cradles to hold up the torso. Next, it's his head, with a good wah eye to give the enemy the evils, a skull and bones on the big shooter, horns, moons, flames, fungus! Obviously, the mech in charge had enough teeth to get some nice gold paint to really look flash. This shoulder mounted really big shooter also looks great with black and gold checkers. And of course, still more Dakka is needed, and some coggy bits in there to keep everything moving. These twin Dakka even move up and down, so you can aim. The melee option looks great in my opinion, and the side-mounted flame cannon is going to really, set the mood with whiffs of Titan crackling and Umi bacon.
Engine barbecue!
And last but not least, it's his other arm, with some kind of multi-repeating death slinger, looking well flash in gold and black, as well as what could be a zap gun that I made out of mostly an old biro pen and bits from some early 2000s circuit boards. Also, there are some rocket bombs, just because, more Dakka is always better. These were also made out of bits of old pens and a fixing from some old broken cabinet, combined with graphics medium chipboard and hot glue. And that's that, folks. I had great fun building this project, and it will make a great addition to my collection of scratch-built vehicles. If you have any comments or suggestions about this build, or about builds you think I should have a go at, well, leave some words down below. I urge you all, today, to do your bit. Try and make some art out of what would otherwise be waste in a landfill. Thanks for watching.